get the elephant out of the room. The NBA has a gambling problem?
No way. What do you mean? How could this be?
Gambling.
I will say though, even though we knew that was the case, it is definitely more than what anybody thought it was. Did anybody I know this sounds crazy because this was like truly the biggest story in the world yesterday. Did anybody consume any of what happened?
Yes, there's a lot to keep up with.
It was too much to consume.
Yeah.
That part.
I'm not even gonna lie. That part. All right, let's go ahead and crack this egg. Kash Patel, FBI director, came out yesterday and announced that they had arrested 30 people. 30 people. 3 of them being Damon Jones, former NBA player, coach, Chauncey Billups, Portland Trailblazer head coach and former player, and Terry Rozier, in connections to gambling, like rigging sports operations, corruption, and all that stuff like that, and then illegal poker games. We can get into the illegal poker games. Oh, we'll touch on that first because the poker games thing doesn't move me.
What did move me, I don't know if you're about to bring this up, was Chauncey's cheating methods. About to bring that up?
Oh, what did Chauncey cheat? Tell me.
Bro, he had allegedly, he had cameras under people's hats. Or I gotta find the tweet. That shit is crazy.
So I was on TikTok doom scrolling this morning, and I kind of downplayed what happened with Chauncey Billups, and we're starting with the poker shit first. I downplayed what happened with Chauncey Billups, but they were knocking off pro gamblers, like World Series of Poker on ESPN on Saturday in the afternoon. They were hosting games in LA and Las Vegas. And apparently, when they hosted the Vegas game, it was like they hosted the Vegas game and everything was smooth. But then they said, yo, you fuck with the Vegas game, you want a lot of money, come out to LA. Come out to LA and play these games. All professionals lost. It was literally professionals versus us in poker, people who had never played poker before or people who only slightly know how to play poker. All the professionals lost. And we're not talking about $500 hands. We're not talking about $1,000 hands. We're talking about $10,000 hands.
Yeah, I found the tweet. Hold on, let me share it with y'all. So
Easiest way to get caught.
Details of rigged poker games that Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones were involved in. X-ray machines built into tables to read face-down cards. Contact lenses / glasses that read pre-marked cards. Secret cameras in card trays.
Yeah, arrest that man. Yeah, he deserved to be arrested. This is insane work. This is the Joker level of technology to cheat at poker.
You think he Batman for real?
He John Wick. I don't even know, man.
Let me first of all, y'all don't think that Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones set these things up though, right?
Oh no, they're pawns. They're obviously pawns. I would hope.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the tip of the iceberg. Because I'm gonna be honest, I do think it's on purpose that all the reports that we've been seeing is just role players. There's a bigger fish. If y'all really think it's just role players involved in this,
you think it's still basketball players? That's what you think the bigger fish are?
That too. It's not just basketball players. But I'm just saying, even within the conversation we're having, if y'all think it's just the Terry Roziers and the Damon Jones of the world, and stars aren't getting involved in this shenanigans, I'm a mistake.
Wait, because I gotta know for my safety.
All-star point guard Trae Young.
Who do you think the bigger fish are? So, give me some examples of bigger fish.
Within the NBA, especially just in general?
Just in this case in general, who do you think the bigger fish are?
Avery B?
I don't know, probably government officials.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was concerned. I thought you was Steve Ballmer. All right, so this is bigger than basketball.
I did think you were gonna start naming NBA
Adam
legends
Silver,
or something like that.
No,
Magic Johnson. Me, please. This is the Gambino crime family gang. I don't know.
This is the mob. This is ridiculous though. I'm with you though, Souls. I do agree that there may be bigger fish in the NBA specifically that definitely are gonna fry. I know one fish I hope is on the list because got some give us a great excuse. But I I'm just excited to see what happens next. Excited to see who gets arrested next. Crazy to say, crazy to see. I'm excited to see people get arrested, but I want to see how deep this thing goes. Pause.
Well, I don't know about you. I don't too much care about the card games. How they did it was very much like TV show, but just I don't really care about the card games. What actually is interesting to me is the the rigging of sports operations. So they kind of detail how Terry Rozier was responsible for what he did. Um, this is a tweet detailing what happened. Two separate indictments. First involves 6 defendants accused of participating in a sports corruption scheme that exploited insider information involving NBA players and teams. The defendants leveraged their connections to place prop bets based on confidential insider information, winning tens of thousands of dollars per bet. That one's about the poker game. Blah. The FBI says that NBA player Terry Rozier told defendants that he was going to leave a game early on March 23rd, 2023, with an injury. The defendants then placed more than $200,000 of wagers on the unders for his prop bets, with Rozier leaving the game after 9 minutes. Those bets paid out tens of thousands of dollars in profit, and the defendants and Rozier counted the money at his house. I'm gonna get into Aiden in a second. They also said that Damon Jones, friend of LeBron James, would get on the phone with LeBron James, talk about his injury or whatever. Oh, LeBron, my ankle hurts. Damon Jones, that's tough, man. Get well soon, champ. If you can't go tomorrow, you can't. You know what I would do? Test it out. You're gonna know in the first quarter. That's what I would do, champ. All right, man. I'll see you later. Hang up with LeBron. Call his mob buddies. Hey, mob buddies. Take all the unders on LeBron. That's exactly what it did. This is the dumbest way. I think the dumbest way to literally sports gamble. This is stupid.
They are literally sports gambling like they did on Harlem Nights, and it's hilarious. This is essentially how they are sports gambling, and you would think that they are smarter than what they really are. It's quite hilarious how the most evil people, how the most smart people aren't even smart enough to be as evil as we think they are or want them to be.
They're just smart enough to like still be named unnamed. That's about all as far as it goes. But like as y'all said, they're the role players or whatever, they're like typically pawns. So they kind of just get, I guess, pause and needed sloppier with their work there. The Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones tweet about them doing spy stuff. I mean, to each his own on that. I'm still like, what? But in terms of like that kind of stuff, oh yeah, they don't care about being clean all the way at that level, as long as the big fish is still swimming in the very small pond and somehow nobody sees them. They do not care.
Well, speaking of ponds, because I think that this is, and we probably do owe him an apology. Now he does have some other things to talk about, but so it also came out that Jonte Porter Jr., that we clowned last year for his involvement in like the prop betting thing and going under and all that other stuff like that. He had other gambling debts. So fair, maybe just the gambling addict. I don't know, like 50% of young men are, some shit like that. It's an outrageous ass number. But so the mob threatened him and said, if you don't participate in these, we're gonna line your kneecaps up. We're gonna do you dirt. They did no, but that's how. Huh?
So he was forced to cheat / gamble.
He was forced to cheat. He was forced to like if he was supposed to go for 4 threes or whatever, he was forced to hit his unders, or fake an injury or whatever the case may be, or they'll take his kneecaps.
I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be another dumbass B-soul statement. I thought the mafia was a myth of the past at this point, man. I didn't know they were still active.
No, and you know what's crazy? It's the same mafia too. It's literally the same ones.
The same ones.
The head honcho's old as hell, so the Godfather.
How come they never got him? Like, if they know him, like, why can't they just?
I mean, it's different people, but it's like if your dad was a part of the mafia, then like your cousin would be next in line. So when he gets in jail or dies, the family still goes on. The family ain't dead.
I promise you, the last thing you think of when you think of role players or 12th men, hell, 15th men in the NBA, man, Sam Hauser getting threatened by the mob. Like that's just not. That's just not. I don't think Jordan Walsh has to have these type of problems. That just never occurs to me. It would make sense though. You would go after a Jonte Porter Jr. and say, "Hey man, I'm gonna line your kneecaps up if you don't hit this under." Because what he's gonna say? He gonna tell? Who gonna listen? He's barely an NBA player.
I don't. Has Adam Silver spoke on this yet? I don't think Adam Silver has said a word about this yet.
I think he has. I saw something.
Okay, let me try. Let me try to find this. But like, so, I mean, off top, how do we stop this? Because I think that there is a bigger problem. Like, there's a huger problem, and we'll talk about like gambling and stuff in a second. But
How do
what?
we stop this?
Yeah, how do you
Stop
stop?
the mob.
No,
That's what the FBI's doing. I mean, that's their job.
oh my goodness.
Uh,
I typed in Adam Silver in the auto shit on Twitter.
Porn
Adam
game?
Silver, Jew. I mean,
How did it get worse from porn?
bring back the porn. Yeah, there's got to be a way to fix this gambling shit.
There is no way. This is an issue that's been going on since I don't know when. The beginning of time when it comes to sports in general, a lot of pro sports. The fact that the NBA and all these other major American sports league are embracing the sport, fantasy sports, just sports gambling in general, it only makes the issue worse. There is no fixing it. There was no stopping it when Donahue was doing it in the 2000s. I'm pretty sure there's all types of conspiracies and rumors about the gambling that was going on in the 90s between Jordan. There's always going to be gambling. There's always going to be shady stuff going on with pro sports. There is no, and to me, there is no stopping it.
Yeah, there's too much money involved. Like literally, it's probably the only medium where you can have customers regularly putting down like $400 and just getting all the profit with literally giving nothing in return. Like I don't think any other industry can actually say that outside of like streaming and like donations, I guess. But still, that's a little different.
Yeah, I hate to go full blown echo chamber, but I mean, all troll aside, you literally hired John Wick to shut down the mob, I guess. But you can't really stop that because it's a matter of believability, as Damo said in a joking manner, but dead ass. Yeah, no, nobody's gonna look at Jordan Walsh if he gets accused of stuff. What are we gonna do? You're gonna just slander Jordan Walsh for being a dumbass. It's kind of like what literally happened to Jonte Porter. Not saying that Jonte couldn't also be a dumbass. These things can be synonymous, but it's just no way that we can necessarily stop it. There's no rule that can be put in line because the whole point is to break the rules. So unless the FBI has the superest of super spies out there that can just dolo any of these high head honcho corrupt people, nah, it's just something that we can limit potentially, but you can't stop it.
Well, how do y'all feel about the argument that like if they did ban it, like it's still gonna exist, like people are still gonna gamble regardless of if it's illegal or not. So might as well make it public, have the opportunity to regulate it, which they're not regulating it. But how do y'all feel about the argument? Is that a valid argument or
No, I think making anything easier, and this isn't like a situation where people would do it. I guess people would do it more unsafe. There's a video that I want to play about gambling in a minute, but just know my answer is like that's a dumb excuse. I want to play the video first and then go back into that. That's a dumb excuse.
no? I thought you were gonna play.
No, well, I wanted to play. Let me play this first. Apparent to Damo's point about these people knowing about it. Apparently, I didn't know this. I'm just looking at this now. The NBA knew about this investigation before it even went down.
Absolutely right, Rich. The NBA at some point is going to have to explain why Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing. And I just want to point something out.
Mm-hmm.
The sports books caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, the morning it happened, when all of a sudden there was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in on Terry Rozier unders for a relatively meaningless game in November. I'm sorry, in March, involving the Charlotte Hornets. The sports books caught it. They told the NBA right away, and guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season. and he had faked the injury, so it wasn't because of the injury. The NBA pulled him. They pulled Jonte Porter too. They flagged Jonte Porter and pulled Jonte Porter. The NBA's measures, their comply, their protection measures, the sportsbook's protection measures triggered this. They caught it. The issue, I think, is Jonte Porter. They caught absolutely right, Rich. The NBA at some point is.
They didn't say anything though.
You said they haven't said anything?
I'm saying they didn't say anything. Like they caught it but didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, because they're super. The NBA has always been hush hush with a lot of things. Anything that requires an investigation, their go-to is, well, we're going to conduct our own investigation, and then after we do ours, we have all the information. Then the public investigation of whatever's going on will happen. Go with that, whatever it is. The NBA is super shady. So I have no doubt in my mind that some of these bigger fish that Bezos alluded to earlier are in fact higher ups in the NBA. Like it's deeper than rap. Again, it's a lot of money in this. There's a lot of money in this for everybody. So I'm not surprised if these actual companies, these actual professional sports are in on it with the gambling thing. That's why everyone's making it acceptable.
Yeah. Okay. So the video that I wanted to play, it was about the consequences. Because even when I mean, I think that we all think that gambling has gotten totally out of control. And this goes to Bezos's point about if they just allowed it and just tried to regulate it or whatever, these things will happen. But I don't know if there's like regulating some of these different things.
Gorilla, but let's talk about 100 Men versus DraftKings. Legalizing online sports betting was a huge mistake, and it is doing a ton of damage to young men in particular. It has always been the case that the closer you live to a casino, the more likely you are to develop a gambling problem, but now the casino is in your phone. 48% of men ages 18 to 49 have an account with at least one online sportsbook. That's almost half.
48% of men? Is that not a crazy ass number?
I would have thought it'd been higher.
I am shocked it's less than 50.
Half of men who are engaged in this industry. The Supreme Court made gambling a states' rights issue in 2018, and since then, online sports gambling has been legalized in 38 states. The statistics in states where it's legal are grim. Bankruptcies have increased almost 30% in states that have legalized online betting. And the people who are most at risk for bankruptcy are young men living in low-income areas. One study showed that for every $1 households spend on gambling, they put $2 less into investment accounts. And of course, men are going to make women pay for their mistakes because intimate partner violence has increased by 10% in areas where they've legalized online gambling. I could go on and on with the horrifying.
I don't know if the answer to fixing this is just by allowing it, is ultimately what I'm saying. Because what happens when you allow it is this.
I mean, the only reason I brought it up, and I understand this may be a crazy parallel, was like when we talk about abortions, like the pro-choice argument is like people are gonna do abortions. The argument for making it legal is, at least make it safe and have the ability to like regulate it and make it safer instead of like making it like unsafe if people are gonna do it illegally.
And while I do think that it's an argument, I just think that those are like two different things. I think that those are just two separate things to bring to the conversation. One is about like life, death, health, safety, all these other things. This one's just a pleasure. Literally, if there weren't gambling ads, if there weren't ease of access to gambling, people just wouldn't gamble. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but in states where there's like no lottery, in states where there's no casinos, in states where there's no like sports betting, they just don't do it. They just don't do it. So
I'm gonna be honest, sports betting apps are probably the only way I have like outside of literally going to a casino. Like it's like if I wanted to gamble right now in Worcester, I don't know where I'd go. Like I just wouldn't. Well, outside of like going on the app. So
yeah, and it's the convenience that definitely is the main issue here, and that's why I think we're kind of not having a relevant conversation, but it's just not gonna happen, right? Like there's no way a Prize Picks, a FanDuel, or DraftKings just says, all right, well, we're trying to shut this down. We're gonna go like cheese and turn off of the apps or anything like that. Like the idea. And by the way, those statistics don't shake me either, because for some reason, no matter how broke a brother can be, they got $2 for a parlay. Hell, they got $15 for a parlay. I don't know where you got this $15 for this parlay, and we're hungry, but you got the money for it. So they find a way to make those ends meet, because I guess it's seen as like a gateway to fast money and easy money. So in a weird way, even if those apps went away, if there was some place per se, like a casino, or if there was just a way to do it in a dirty way per se to get that enormous jump in dollars, I do think people would still find a way to do that. It's just obviously the mass amounts that people that do it would go away because it's less convenient. I know I'm not saying anything
I think it would just be, but it would just
really out
be
there, but
if it wasn't like if it wasn't on their phone, I think more people would be less inclined to do it, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
for sure.
Because they just don't. It's just not like it's harder. Like I wouldn't know how to get in contact with the crime family in order to gamble in Georgia on Trey Young unders. But I do know how to do it if I go to my app store. If I go to my app store right now, I can.
All you gotta do, you ain't gotta type in your email. You Apple ID it. There you go.
Yeah, I got DraftKings. I got there's so many iterations. I didn't even know there was 60 different iterations of DraftKings. I didn't even know there's like 5 iterations of DraftKings here. FanDuel, Prize Picks, BetGM, ESPN Bet, Underdog, Bet365, Fanatics.
There's some that even specify the sport entirely. That I didn't know. So like, there's some like hypothetically like Prize Picks NBA, which I guess just has more NBA plays on it.
Wow, if you go to your app
One thing that
store,
I didn't
scroll down,
realize
it's a lot.
until like, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, go to your app store and scroll down. There's actually a lot. I did not know there was this many.
Oh yeah, it started getting ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy. Because people get, to tell you the truth, people get banned off these apps, but because there's such a plethora of them, and because the demand to gamble is very addictive, yeah, people will be like, okay, I'm banned on DraftKings, let me go to FanDuel. I'm banned on FanDuel, let me do Prospects.
I finally got to non-sports. Me, what the fuck? I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, no. I mean, what I was just about to say, I think one of the things that's really surprising over the last year is like sports betting as content is a whole niche inside of like the NBA space. Like when we talk about NBA content creators, sports betting is a really, really like we're talking about people going live to like 2,000, 3,000 people just to see their
You remove the sports in that, and that's another conversation. Just gambling as and betting as content.
I'm about to say not even just but a particular sport in general. Just booting up a stream, and we talking about props on all sports. It's people. I've seen rooms on Playback. I've seen spaces on Twitter. People are throwing prop bets on every single sport. Like at first, you would think people have a niche sport. It is taking niche sports away. People are watching everything because they want to put bets on it. I'm hearing people talk about soccer who I know for a fact can't tell a goalie from a forward. But hey, take the over on Ronaldo's 2 free kicks. He's gonna hit them.
Not soccer. I've seen people cricket. I've seen people frisbee. I've seen people on those dog shows.
I know esports is
I'm not saying
category.
esports. People are like CS:GO. I'm like, I don't even know how you would. What props are you putting on CS:GO? Hey, don't worry about it, man. He gonna get the objective twice.
Yeah, how are you like tracking to see? Like I'm watching Dame in the gym in the summer. How are you watching Nathan Peterman?
Well, what they do is, and what these apps do is they tell you the last 5. They show you the trends. They give you the data per se. I'm telling you how I've seen people lose money. There's accounts that go out there. They prove that they win at a 90% win rate. Hey, follow this account. Nobody knows when they get 200 likes. Hey, you got too many people following them. Next account. And they keep sending those plays in the chat. They'll copy those plays. They'll throw $1 on that, $2 on that. Hopefully a banks. But when you make 20 plays a day for $2, gang, you spent $40. So
Discord is another like really big culprit in this. Like a lot of these people, they like do their communities on Discord.
Wasn't D-Lo in some Discord thing or?
John Tate Porter was in the Discord. So
yeah,
that's where he was getting his shit off. I will say this. This is the last thing, that there's a proposed solution, and not really a proposed solution, but this WNBA player kind of threw out something to combat it. something that her overseas team does. This is Bree Turner, plays for the Indiana Fever, at least did last year. Completely random, but in Australia, we, staff and players, are required to lock our phones, smartwatches, and any other communication devices in a box 1 hour prior to tip off, and we can't retrieve our items until after the game ends in an effort to combat sports betting. She says it was apparently already a rule on the men's side, but became implemented on the women's side this year. When I found out, like 48 hours before the first game, I was not pleased. But after today's news, I can't even fault the rule at this point. This would never be a thing in the States, though, of course, but kind of interesting to compare how leagues operate globally. Um, I, I'll say this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did I just do this? I don't know what I just did. If the NBA wanted to show good faith, because I think a lot of people are going to start questioning the integrity of the game, although that's not going to stop them from betting. They would do something a little bit like this. I'm not saying this will solve everything, but at least Terry Rozier can't overhear that so and so is going to be hurt or not play or whatever the case may be. So somebody can make some changes right before
True.
tip off. And with that being said, just yesterday as well, college sports, the NCAA just announced that they are going to allow their students to start gambling.
I seen that. I was hoping I didn't get like centelled when I read that or whatever it was. I wasn't sure if they were going to allow sports betting for college sports. I guess like make it marketable, but they're allowing their student athletes to sports bet just as long as it isn't on their team. Correct?
Yeah, something like their team or their sport or something like that.
That is disgusting. So if I have a cousin, if I go to Utah State, but I have a cousin that plays at North Virginia, I can just get intel on North Virginia University, whatever it is, and this is disgusting.
Now let me just bring this up.
Oh, pro sports. Go ahead.
I don't know if we need to cut this out, but I can already see the comment section. This is a podcast that has promoted fantasy sports before. To that we say what? Like we have all this criticism about sports gambling, but
I think everything should be done in moderation, one, and then two, to be very blunt, as fans, I don't think that it's too crazy of an issue until it ruins the actual product and integrity of the game. So in theory, right, sports betting should just be that the athletes are playing genuine integral hoops, and the fans are out there doing what they do there, and then we just have that conversation about okay, who really should be on this app and who should not be. I think a lot of things, if we boil it down to people having moderation skills and self-control, we can make anything sound evil. But when it comes to I guess us promoting it, I think as long as we're not really farming home every 2 seconds. Hey, make sure that you set this play on this and make sure you set this play on that. I think it's nothing that's too crooked.
I would just say I'm not impacting the actual sport of the game, buddy. That's my biggest criticism. Our criticisms are of people who have direct impact and influence on these prop bets, have gateways into the sport that is being betted on and all that. We were sitting here on the pod talking about, hey man, Curry last 5 games, he ain't hit the over. Like, come on, dog. I think there's a big difference here.
I will say 2 things. One, I agree, especially what Damo just said. I agree with what Sage and Damo said. Moderation. We weren't impacting the games. Like that's a totally different level in this conversation. The impact on games is like, wow, Terry Rozier is disgusting. Jonte Porter is disgusting, even though he probably was going to have his kneecaps. I can honestly say, though, I regret doing it. I wouldn't do it in the future. Like, full stop, wholeheartedly. Part of the reason why in the other conversation that we had, B-Souls, about, looking at another sponsor or whatever the case may be, that's part of the reason I was like, no, I'm cool on even doing anything like this. These kids really... I mean, I'm sitting in conversations with people, whether it be in spaces, whether it be in real life. They are real life addicted. Like
my friends are addicted for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to, and I know, I put in my video the other day, or yesterday, yeah, we went to the mall and saw that room. I mean, this is a depressing room. Like high key, this dark ass room where degenerates come and play these games. I've seen dudes that I go play basketball with at the park that shoot dice. Like they really shoot dice. They play CeeLo, they play craps, they play all that. Like they shoot dice with money. They're not even pulling out the dice no more. They're literally pulling out their phones to pull up Prize Picks and DraftKings, and they're trying to find whoever has a promo code or whatever the case may be. That's terrible, gang. I can't. That's weird. I wouldn't do it again, and I regret doing it back then. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't shame anybody that
Okay.
plays it as a hobby because I won't sit there and tell you there's no elements of fun to it. But when it's like a daily thing to the point where you can't enjoy the sport, that's where like, oh, hold on now. What? Oh shit! I must have missed something. I was looking down.
What was it?
Nah, nothing.
Bezos is funny, man. Bezos is a funny guy.
I mean, how you feel, Bezos?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I agree with a lot of the things that we said. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it a beam, man. There's a lot of money in it. I mean, we've already said it. There's a lot of money in it. And obviously the partnerships with content creators is some of the biggest. It's a lot of money we're passing up on.
Was that an answer?
Hey man, I already done said I don't think it's an issue with us promoting it per se. If that's bad clips, you want to edit that out for sponsorship opportunities. I don't personally have an issue with it. Yeah, I just don't want none of y'all watching this video to be gambling addicts. That's it. But I don't think it's bad monies.
I ain't gonna lie. They are, Sage. I don't know what to really.
I mean,
say.
everyone got different moral lines on like what they're down to promote. I'm down to promote some alcohol. Like I guess that's just where my line. And I understand the effects of alcohol, but like, you know, if Hennessy hit me up,
Drink responsibly.
Would you
drink
promote
responsibly?
Would you promote nicotine?
No, because I don't do it.
Yeah, I think
sports
funny
bet.
enough, I follow like my more compass again.
Wait, Sage, don't let him slide. You don't sports bet.
I did when they. You're right. You're right.
Oh,
You're
okay.
You're right.
Yeah,
Then. You're right.
So you would support nicotine, or what would you do now with that? Would you support nicotine? Like, would you endorse nicotine?
Would I? No. I don't know. It's just weird. Nicotine's just weird, man. Maybe that's
Alcohol's not weird.
Be hypocritical. I don't care if you're hypocritical. I don't care if you're
I care if you're hypocritical. So alcohol's not weird.
It's not. You just did a drinking game.
Hey, we ain't talking about me. We ain't talking about me. I'm just saying, alcohol's not weird. People drink this substance. After a couple drinks, now they can't control themselves. That's super weird. A person can smoke 2 cigarettes. They're not gonna Me Too someone after it. That's crazy.
They told me stay out of this, so even though they told me stay out of this.
I just wanted to know because he don't sports bet, but all of a sudden he running around. Yeah, put the parlay down, put the 8-legger down, put the 10-legger down. Okay.
I just had to see my man get slimed out, bro.
Moving on.